Hi guys, Chantel with Chantel's Homeschool. I am a mom of 7 kids, 5 bio kids, and 2 foster children. My oldest graduated last year, and my kids are just growing up. If you'd like to see what we're going to be using, keep watching my channel. I've been sharing what I have been doing with my kids that are homeschooling this year. Today, I'd like to share with you what my first grader used and how we liked it. These will be her individual studies, and I will share our family subjects here in the next little bit. So for my first grader, we use the Good and the Beautiful Level 1. This is not my first round with Level 1. My older son did it too. We really enjoy the hands-on activities in Level 1. My daughter absolutely loved the drawings and just all the fun little hands-on things. She really enjoyed it so much that she didn't want to stop doing it, which for her ended up not being a good thing. She is a very advanced reader. The reading in this was too easy. She has finished all of the booster cards and books. She finished them a long time ago, to be honest, even before Christmas. It was so easy that it was getting difficult to have her do it because she could read all the instructions. Before I even got to where it was supposed to be, she'd like, "Mom, I already know what to do," which is good and fine, except for that I couldn't gauge how much she was getting because she was reading the answer before I could turn the page or anything, and she would flip ahead sometimes and read, and so it was hard to even not have her see it like a day or two before. So she didn't want to stop doing it though, and I was like, maybe we should try something different, or maybe we should move up to the next level. But she didn't want to stop. This was a difficult year for her. She has always loved school. She has loved sitting down and working and learning, and she still does. But I think I'll have to say that I don't know that we're going to stick with Level 2 next year, just because she's already reading at a level that she's ready for Level 3 or Level 4. However, her writing and everything else, she is not ready for those levels. So she is very much still at her level in writing and in every other skill except for the reading. So this was a difficult course. I'm honestly not sure if we're going to continue with this for her next year. I have been looking into something different, and we will see what we end up doing for her. I really hate to leave the Good and the Beautiful for her because I have enjoyed it so much with all of my other kids. But when I tell you that this year was difficult, it's because she was having fits and meltdowns almost every single day because she didn't want to do it, but at the same time she wouldn't stop. Like, she didn't want to stop. And so that's why I said that it wasn't necessarily a good thing for her. The other thing she used was the Good and the Beautiful Math 1. I was very concerned starting this because she really did struggle with some very basic concepts in addition and some other things, despite having done the kindergarten curriculum, despite having done 2 kindergarten math curriculums. I wasn't really sure how her progression in the Good and the Beautiful Math 1 was going to be, but I have to say I am very happy with it. It built really beautifully upon each lesson. It built great. The only thing that we added was some extra math facts practice. I do feel like the Good and the Beautiful sometimes would throw some math problems in there that weren't necessarily practiced very well. And so we did practice that more. We also, in the little review section box at the beginning of the lesson, we also practiced some of those things more, just to make sure that she had it down. But it worked really well. I'm really happy with it. We will be using Math 2 for her. I see no reason to not do that. Something that I like to do is just a little calendar. I printed this off. I don't even know where I got this, but I laminated it, and this helped her with the calendar, and so the calendar activities were very easy for her. We used a 100 chart pretty consistently with her throughout the math course. At first, I was afraid it would hinder her and she wouldn't learn it, but I have to say that it really did help her develop that number sense and counting, because they start doing a lot of skip counting in Math 1, and I feel like the number chart was very helpful. We did try to add in Explode the Code. I thought it might help her with her spelling. And, you know, I have tried Explode the Code multiple times with my children, and it just has not worked that well. I don't know why I thought it would be different for her, but I did. She gets very bored with it. It's black and white pages, which is fine, but it's very repetitive black and white pages, so every activity is very much the same. For her, this just was not a big hit. She complained about it nonstop. She didn't want to do it. My 4 older boys, I've tried it with each of them, and they all felt the same way. So for us, Explode the Code just was not a hit. So another thing that we did was Evan Moore, and I have to say Evan Moore spelling was also not a hit for us. This is something that a lot of people talk about, but for us it just wasn't a hit. Again, it was very repetitive, very boring, and my kids didn't like it. They like a few more varied activities than is in Evan Moore. The reason why I was adding these things, because I really do think The Good and the Beautiful is enough for your basic generic kid. For her, since her reading was so advanced and she was having a hard time wanting to do The Good and the Beautiful, I was trying to add some other things to see if that would help her, and then we weren't doing the spelling in The Good and the Beautiful, and so I was adding these things to see if it would help, and it didn't really help. So if you're thinking it's not enough, I think that it is in general. You just have to try it with your kids. Some kids it's fine, and some kids it won't be. It just depends on what their needs are, which is why we homeschool, right? We don't want to just run of the mill, everything fits every kid perfectly. We want to tailor it to fit our child's individual needs. And that's what I was trying to do, and we really didn't have much luck for her. I did have The Good and the Beautiful handwriting. I don't know where it is. She likes it. She carries it around the house. She does it here. She does it there. And that was an okay hit. The handwriting is something that I hear a lot of people love with The Good and the Beautiful. For me, it's kind of been hit and miss. Some of my kids have liked it, and some of my kids haven't. For her, she refused to do it the first half of the year, and then this last half of the year, she's been carrying it around everywhere and loves it. So I think it just depends on your kid, and it's worth a try. I love it. I think it's beautiful. I love that there's drawing included because that helps the fine motor skills. It's just really going to depend on your kid if your child likes it or not. And I think that wraps up our first grade year for my youngest daughter. If you have any questions, ask me. Please like and subscribe. I'm going to be sharing my 11th graders and our family subjects next. See you later. Bye.